Real estate investors, the wait is over and the data is in. We are about to give you this month's housing market update for Bryan and College Station. Guys, some interesting data, and I'm even going to throw in a little history lesson about why I invest in Bryan and College Station, Texas. Stay tuned. This is going to be a good one. You're an investor, I'm an investor. We want the facts. I'm going to give you the data to let you know what's going on in the market, where there's some weakness in the market, which could be a great opportunity for investors like yourself. I'm going to give you a rough prediction on what's going on in our housing market in 2025. And then I'm going to answer some commonly asked questions about why I choose to invest in Bryan and College Station. Let's jump into the numbers. Everybody wants to know what's the median price in the market. Well, this is using data that is most recently released, October 2024, housing market data from the MLS. And our median price is $320,000. Now that's interesting for two reasons. One, we're up 4.9% year over year. Two, we're down $5,000 month over month. Both relatively interesting. I think the important thing to see is that we are appreciating, but there's some softness in the market. Now here is where there's a really big opportunity. Condos are down 23% year over year. That's October 24 compared to October 23. Now that is a great opportunity, particularly for my parents of Texas A&M students. If you're looking to invest in a student rental right now, you could get a house basically on a Black Friday sale 25% under last year's prices. That is pretty damn phenomenal. So what else is going on in the market? Well, if you look at active listings and months of inventory, that's the two numbers I've been focused on. That's going to tell me whether or not we are have the demand in the market or not. So we've been seeing an increase in both of those numbers all the way till August. Then in September's data, we saw a decrease. And guess what? For October, another decrease. We are now at 1,182 active listings and 4.5 months of inventory, which is down from our August high of 1,220 active listings and 4.7 months of inventory. What does all of this mean? It means that we have buyers that are eager to buy, but they are driven by interest rates. You see, back in August and September, we saw interest rates drop below 6.5%. That was just enough of a decrease in the interest rates to drive the buyers to the market to buy down some of the inventory. Now, I think that was a blip. Why do I think it was a blip? Well, since then, all of October, we saw an increase in interest rates. We went from 6.1 all the way up to 7.1%, according to Mortgage News Daily. We're right there right now in that 7% range. What that means is that the buyers are likely going to back off again. Right? They're going to wait for the rates to come down. So when are they going to come down, Greg? Thank you for asking. The economists say that mortgage rates will be steadily in the mid-sixes towards the middle or end of 2025. So in the summertime of next year, when buyer activity is already up, we expect rates to drop, which will create, in my opinion, enough of a feeding frenzy to buy down the active inventory. That means that houses will sell at list price, not below list price. That means there will be less houses to choose from. So until then, Mr. and Mrs. Investor, if you're looking to buy a property, particularly a condo, now is a great time to get a great deal. We'll deal with the interest rates later. You might not get a great interest rate right now, but there are programs out there that allow you to refinance at a really low fee so that you can refinance in that lower interest rate when rates come down. But 25% is a huge discount. So do not overlook that opportunity. Okay, that's the softness, the condos. That is my projection that the inventory will drop sometime in 2025. What about these questions? Well, I get asked a lot from my skeptical investors, particularly my out-of-town investors. They say, Greg, I've seen College Station increase prices year over year. Surely that can't continue. I've been watching the market for that past 5, maybe 10 years. There's no way it can increase for forever. And maybe that's true, but I like to rely on history to help me predict what's going to happen in the future. So let's go back to 1990. Now, I'm using data from the Texas A&M Real Estate Research Center. It's one of my favorite places to get data. I'll have a link in the description below. That data tells us that in the last 34 years, since 1990, there have only been 4 years where prices did not increase. In fact, the average increase in home prices in Bryan and College Station every year is 4.84%. With only 4 decreasing years, only 4 years where we saw negative appreciation. And those years, the negative appreciation was less than a 1% drop. So your $300,000 house dropped down to $297. Boo-hoo, you'll be fine. Now, how does that compare to the US market as a whole? Thank you for asking. The US market in that same time frame has seen six decreasing years. All of those years more than 1% drop. The worst of it, of course, was the Great Recession in 08 and 09, when the US economy saw a 8 and 9% decrease in housing prices, compounding on themselves. In that same time frame, Bryan and College Station only saw a decrease for 1 year, and it was less than 1%. That's what I mean by a steadily increasing market. So let's rewind to 1990, and let's assume you bought a $100,000 house in Bryan and College Station. Today it would be worth $387,000. Now, had you spent that same $100,000 in, fill in the blank, average town America, that house would be worth $255,000. You would be $130,000 richer because you were smart enough to invest in Aggie land. And that's my goal. My goal is to buy real estate in Aggie land over the long haul that will see continuous appreciation. I won't have the roller coaster ride that the US economy goes through. We are very insulated here in Bryan College Station. If you ever listen to what Warren Buffett says, his first rule of investing is don't lose money. For me, that means don't invest in towns or places that have major drops, major depreciation in the housing prices. And Bryan and College Station just hasn't seen that for the last 34 years. So, to that guy out there who thinks we can't do this forever, maybe we can't, but we've done it for the last 34 years, and I don't see any reason why we can't do it for another 34 years. Guys, that's your housing update. That's why I invest in Bryan and College Station. If you want more updates, you need to subscribe to this channel. If you want to invest in Bryan and College Station, you need to contact me. All my information is in the description below. I look forward to talking to you more about what's going on in my favorite markets of Bryan and College Station. As always, guys, until next time, you take it easy.